Welcome guys. So in this video we are going to do, we are going to perform delete operation, so that you can delete the user from the cloud, as well as the user can also delete its account from the app also. It is important because many Play Store and App Store policies that you have to provide a delete button, so that user can delete its data from the cloud, and you have to give a delete button. Like, it's like a necessary process. So it is a very simple process in the application. What we are going to do, let's say I'll say delete no, not here. Yep, delete account. Wait a second. Asynchronization, and here I'll try to await account dot delete delete identity, I think so. Okay, delete identity ID, I think is the user ID. So here what we will do, identity ID, what does it take? I'll have a string identity ID, and here I'll pass it, and it will delete it, so it will return true. And if it catch any error, then print, and else return false. Like, if it is deleted, then it will return the true, and if it is not deleted, it will return false. So here at the home page, home dot yep, here I'll have another button which says delete. So I'll say like this, and here delete, and here what I'll have a delete account, and here I have ID. Okay, so I have written the code, and where we will get the user ID. I have created a function which is get user ID. It will try to get account.get, and it will get all the reference which we have for the user, and will print it the user ID, and it will set the user ID. Here I have an variable which says user ID, and here I am getting the user ID. It is not a good approach to use that in the init state and setting the state on the init again, but right now it's okay. But whenever you try to do it on your own, try to use future builder in the body, and then try to do it. But let's do one thing. Let's start doing it, and let's see what's going to happen. Well, there is some problem in my emulator, so what we'll do, we will run that in the simulator, and then we will test it out. The application has run, and I had done some minor changes in the code. Like at the sign up page, here I have done some changes, like email controller and password controller, nothing more or less. So let me do the sign up, and instead of running in the Android simulator, I have run the iOS simulator, and then let's try it out. So let's say let's say random@gmail.com, and let's say password is anything right now, and let me sign up. So it will sign up, and it is showing me my Appwrite, the user ID. See, it is showing me my user ID as well. So let's check in our in our console. As you can see that our web our authentication part is completed, and we can easily see that what we have written over here, my name and email, what I have given, and other things. So let me do one thing, let me delete it, so it is deleted. And if I go right here and let me go to the Safari and let's test it out, and here if you check it, it is blocked now. So what Appwrite does, it does not delete the identity of the user, it blocks the user so that the user cannot access the application again. So the solution of this is to create a function, and by creating a function you can do this thing. So right now what we are going to do, we are going to create a function over there, and in the function we will write some Python code, and in the Python code what basically will happen, that whenever there is something which is triggers the block system, it will automatically delete the user data, not the user data, it will automatically delete the authentication, like this part. Like you can delete it manually, but we will automate it using a function. So what I'm going to do, I'll create a function where I'll create a Python, and next backend, let me check that out, like is my Python is connected with the GitHub. So I have to connect my GitHub repo to my I have to connect my GitHub to the Appwrite, and then I can easily able to access those things. So let me do all those stuff and then we'll get back to you. Well, I have given the access to the GitHub, and I'll create a new repo which says delete function, and I'm gonna use Python, and next create a new repo, and yep, I want to create a startup repo and create the repo private, and next. So it will create my repository, and in that repo what we are going to do, we are going to write some Python code in that, and then we will do all that process. So I'm gonna hit go to the GitHub, and if I go GitHub, and here if I press start, it will open my web editor. So let's just wait for a while. So this is the VS Code, but it is online VS Code. So let it give it some time, let's say 5 to 2 minutes. So yep, this is our main.python file. Before starting this thing, what we need is we need some global variables which we are going to require, so that we can easily able to access the project and other feature in it. So we will write we are going to require two global variable, which first of all is Appwrite API key, and second one is Appwrite project ID, Appwrite function project ID, or Appwrite project ID, whatever you wanted to say. So what I'll do is I'll just create first of all Appwrite function project ID. So let's create a variable, and key will be Appwrite function project ID. So I'll just create it, and I wanted to enter a value. Wait a second. In the value, what I'll do is I'll just go to my code, and here where it says authenticate, here we have the project ID. I'll just paste it and just create it. So our first project ID is here. Now I'll create another variable which says Appwrite in the caps lock Appwrite API and key, and that's it. Those two we are going to require. I hope I have set it up the whole thing. So let me go to the GitHub, and I'll show you what I have done in the src main.py. So from the Appwrite docs, what I have done is I will get those things from Appwrite client, that we want client, we want database, we want users, and here we have created a client, and I've created the endpoints, OS keys, users, and other stuff. So first we will try. What we want is whenever the status of the user get updated, means the first of all user is now active and now the status get updated to the block. So we want to execute at that point of time. So we will try, and context.log, it just log, and user status was updated at, and user data we will just show it, and user ID we will get the user ID, name, and status. If the status is false, if this user was blocked, delete the user. We will delete the user by the user ID, and context.log we will just print that this user is deleted, exception if we get any error. And yep, that's it from the function side. And I have added the Appwrite project function, Appwrite function project ID, and Appwrite API key as well. So what I'm going to do, I'll just show you real quick. So go to the settings, and here I come scroll down. Here are the Appwrite API key and Appwrite function project ID. Appwrite function project ID is your this ID, means your project ID, whatever you have. This is your project ID. This will be your Appwrite function project ID. And for the Appwrite API key, what we need is go to this overview. Here scroll down at the API key, just create a new API key. Let's write it a name, and expiry date you want to, let's say you want to expire at the particular date or something. Just hit next, and in my ID, on the Appwrite API key ID, I have given scope to the auth and the database. Let's say you want to delete the database of particular user, you want to delete a particular ID of that user or something, so you can give the scope. Right now for the authentication purpose, I have only given the auth, and just create, it will create that thing. Right now I will not create those things, so hence our most of the work is done. So first we will do is we will go to the, and one more thing, at the auth, at the function, come here, and at the some configuration option not live, let me redeploy it, and there might be some issue with this. And go to the settings, and here I have updated something. Let's say the entry point is fixed, role give it to any, do not need to change this. Event, you have to update the event, and the schedule. At the schedule, what you have to do, yep, don't worry about it. Let me delete this. Yep. So at the schedule, what just write OO and star 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 and at the event we want to update the event, like when do we want to trigger the function. So we want to trigger the function when the user get deleted first, and another event when the user update its status, create. And yep, those are the two events where we want to trigger the functions. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just create an auth, and here the not this, let's come here and let me block it, and let's see, my account has been blocked, and let me refresh it. Then it says the user ID is not valid, which means our function is working, and the account which we were accessing at the back then, it is not deleted permanently from our console. So let me go here and let me unblock it, and let me block it again. This is deleted, this is very super fast. So yeah, and if I go here, now it is deleted. What we are going to do is right now, let's go to the simulator and let me restart and sign up. Let me put Raman and email random@gmail.com. Let me check that random is available or not. Yep, it is not available. Let me block it. Now it will be available, and password is any random password, and sign up. It is signed up, and while signing up you have to see that the ID should be there, you know. And now what I'm going to do, I'll just click that delete button. So that data is being deleted from the auth as well as from, you know, the console. And if you go to the functions, delete function, and go to the execution, see we have the few seconds ago it is deleted. You can come right here and you can see, okay, there might be some issues with the function at that point of time when the function was deleted, but it is working very good. Like failed to delete, okay, there, okay, see, user status was updated, username Raman, user ID, it was deleted. Well, hence this is done. Like right now we can also able to delete the user from the cloud as well. And there is some updation in the authentication which I missed in my previous video. Like while creating a user, what you have to do, we have to log in the user. Like how Appwrite work, you have to create the user and then you have to log in the user. That is how you will be able to get the user ID. Okay, so this is the process of how you can get the user. So just call the get user, means a login user, it will work. And yeah, that's it from this video. And if you have any query till now, you can comment it down, and keep learning, keep exploring. And yeah, see you in the next video, which is dropping very soon. And bye bye.